Myself is Professor Dr. Rajendra Deshpande. Today is the 27th of April 2020. My dear friends, since last nearly about 3 weeks, Professor Dr. Deshpande is taking these online lectures because of the benefit of the well-wishers of Ayurveda, Ayurvedic students, teachers, or whatsoever. Because there is a pandemic, corona infection is there, and we have in the condition of lockdown. It is up to the 3rd of May right now, but it may extend. So to avoid our losses and to enjoy our stay at home and stay safe, stay at home, but with some encouraging knowledge about the medicine, Ayurveda, and all these things. So today's lecture is concerned about the extension or continuation of our lecture series regarding the respiratory problems in GP, that is general practice or general medical practice. Myself is Professor Deshpande, MD in Ayurvedic Medicine, Kai Chikitsa, and MD in Ayurvedic Physiology, that is Sharira Kriya. My WhatsApp number is this one. You can contact me, or anybody can contact me on this mail ID, Professor Deshpande @ gmail.com, for the paid services that I provide. This is online consultation is there, then preventive lifestyle counseling is there on the basis of Prakriti, and of course the palmistry, which I also do the palmistry consultation, personal or online classes of medicine and different topics of Ayurveda. And my kind and earnest request all the time is, don't forget to subscribe YouTube channel by yourself, and also convey this message to all other remaining of your students or the familiar groups on the WhatsApp. My dear students, we will continue with the topic pleurisy, or the proper word is a pleuritis. Can you understand? ITIS is a inflammation. So naturally, there is a parietal layer and visceral pleura around the lungs. So lung is always covered by the two-layer membrane, that is visceral layer and the parietal layer. When that particular layer, the bag contains more than the normal expected secretions, or the what you can say the exudates or the transudates, then that inflammatory process is called as a pleuritis. So this is a inflammation of the two layers, that is visceral layer and parietal layer of the pleura. Pleura is a plural, single is a pleura. Okay, so there are mainly two types: dry pleurisy and with effusion. Pleurisy with effusion, which is also called as a pleural effusion. Pleural effusion is a very common term in Marathi, because I am in Pune, Maharashtra State, India. Many people they talk, ते ऐकलं की त्यांच्या मामाच्या छातीमध्ये पाणी झालं होतं, त्यांच्या पोटामध्ये पाणी झालं होतं. यू अंडरस्टँड? छातीमध्ये पाणी झालं होतं, दॅट मीन्स इट्स अ प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ प्लुरसी. पोटामध्ये पाणी झालं होतं, दॅट्स अ प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ असायटी. So accumulation of fluid excessively in the pleura or the pleural bag, that is pleurisy. Accumulation of fluid in the peritoneal cavity, that is called as ascites, okay, or peritonitis. Anyway, I am taking this topic because this is what you can say very well connected with our previous disease that we discussed, that is tuberculosis. And as I have already mentioned, tuberculosis was there, say 30 years back when I started my practice. Then because of the very fantastic chemotherapy that you have already seen, that HRZE and HR. So previously it was used to do this treatment for 1 year, but because of the higher potency, all these manufacturing, what you can say, quality products, now it is multi drugs are available, multi medicines are available as a kit for the treating of tuberculosis. And so baseline tuberculosis treatment goes up to the 6 months nowadays. But of course, I'm not saying this is a thumb rule. Try to understand, because then everybody is expecting, okay, after 6 months, I will be absolutely free of the tuberculosis. Yes, it is true, but it is true for the new patient who are AFB negative, or who are the normal response to the chemotherapy or the antibiotics or the anti-tuberculosis treatment. But there are few cases who are resistant to the basic line of treatment, and they may require some complicated drug therapy given by the chest physician, and that particular treatment can extend up to 8 months, 10 months, or even 1 year. Some relapses has to be treated with 1.5 years, but that's a decision of the chest physician. But in general, as I have told you, we have to group these patients tuberculosis in sputum positive and sputum negative, and then we have to treat the cases. Okay. Then pleurisy is 95% is a tuberculous in origin. So this infection occurs because of the same organism, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And the interesting fact is that you have understood that normal chest tuberculosis is having the cough, then 3 weeks non-responding cough to the normal treatment, then evening rise of temperature is there, anorexia is there, and weight loss is there. In this pleurisy, all other things will be there of tuberculosis, but especially as this is a closed infection, try to understand, there may not be cough as a predominant symptom. Write down in your notebook. In tuberculosis, non-responding 3-week cough is a pratyatmak, vyadhi pratyatmak lakshan. But in pleurisy, cough is not mandatory. Cough should not be essentially present over there. There may be evening rise of temperature, weakness will be there, lassitude will be there, malaise will be there, anorexia is there, loss of weight is there. But basically, pleurisy is a closed infection. Okay. Accumulation of exudative or transudative fluid inside the pleural sac. These two words are for your examination purpose. Normally, what we are seeing in the practice is mostly exudative type of variety. All other varieties are not commonly seen in our general medical practice. Okay, but for the examination, you must write down these two varieties: exudative and transudative. Excessive fluid accumulates. That means it's a pleurisy with effusion. Pus, if the by chance pus is there, it's also rare. Then that is called as a empyema. Try to note down the difference in pronunciation and spelling. Empyema is different and emphysema is different. EMPHYACMA. Are you getting my point? Emphysema. Emphysema is common. In our medical practice, emphysema will be there, but empyema very rarely. Transudate accumulates in the bilateral pleural spaces. Transudate is more watery, solvent. Here more solutes are also there. WBCs are more in the exudative. Transudative is a hydrothorax, like a simple water. This is also rare in our practice. Blood is collected, that is called as a hemothorax. Hem means blood. It's mainly after the traumatic injury or accidents and something like that. Chyle is collected, very, very rare, chylothorax. This is all theoretical. Basically, you should concentrate on exudative fluid. Okay. So, pleural effusion causes, as I have told you, tuberculosis of lung and tuberculosis of pleura is a 95 to 98% cause. You must note it. Whenever you heard that Chatit Pani Zalai, mostly he is a tubercular in origin. But for theoretical purpose, remaining 5% causes, you should also remember, one cause is pneumonia. After pneumonic infection, the person has a complication as a pleural effusion. Lung abscess, of course, very rare. We cannot see even single case in whole our practice. I have never seen. Bronchogenic carcinoma, yes, that I have seen. Bronchogenic carcinoma, and it's a complication is of course the pleurisy. Pulmonary embolism, but it is moreover fatal condition. Pulmonary embolism, I had already discussed to you. Pulmonary embolism is a very serious condition. All of a sudden, respiratory arrest will take place. All of a sudden, and patient can die. Then viral infection may cause the pleural effusion. Fungal infections are also causing the pleural effusion, but very rare. Uremia, whenever there is a kidney failure or renal failure, the condition is called as, because urea is not excreted in the urine and urea is accumulated in the blood. Amia, can you see? Amia is the blood. Uremia. So that is a blood, urea in the blood in excessive amount. That complication is pleural effusion. But for your medical practice, you concentrate on this one only. And that's why whatever the causes of tuberculosis, that should be the cause of pleural effusion. I have already mentioned the samavayi and asamavayi karanam according to Ayurveda. Direct causes, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, this is a bacterial organism that is causing that infection. But asamavayi, indirect causes, in the modern medicine it is called as a predisposing factors. Asamavayi karan, predisposing factor. How the tuberculosis takes place? Because of the low immunity. Stroto vaigunya. Pleural effusion, tuberculosis is a strotodushti. And whatever the causes are for predisposing causes, they are stroto vaigunya nirmanakara causes. They make your whole body immunity low. Your lung organ immunity becomes low. Because there is not proper oxygen, ventilation is not there, overcrowding is there, slum areas, poor locality, so they don't follow the hygienes. Too many people are living together. Many of have the viral infections, flu, influenza, tuberculosis, HIV, and contaminations are very common. So these diseases are occurring when malnutrition is there, when your economical status, you are not taking nutritious food, your immunity is becoming low, air pollution is there. So all these are the supportive causes, but very important causes. So if you want to prevent tuberculosis, you must try to improve the social and personal hygiene, immunity, ventilation, atmosphere, environment, etc., etc. Whatever you are talking about, fumigation, Ayurvedic dhupana chikitsa, you can do it as a preventive in the slum areas, in the zhopatpattyas, in the crowded areas, in your hospitals. Then you can prevent corona, you can prevent tuberculosis. But that should be done in spite of the acute management. It is better to be done as a preventive measures. And that also we have to prove by some technologies. Okay. One of the things I should not forget, I have told you that in my 30 years back, when I started my practice, I had done a lot of practice. In the slum areas, I have done, you write down the area, Janawadi, Gokhale Nagar, Pune city, Vadarwadi, very slum area. I practiced in the Dhanori village, near to the Vishrantawadi, Pune. Then I have practiced Sadashivpet, Pune, Jnana Prabodhini, there was the health department, I was the HOD. I practiced in the Alka Talkie Chowk, Pune, as an Ayurvedic consultant. So I practiced a lot in the foreign countries. It is not the thing that I wanted to tell you as I'm proud, but I am wanted to tell you how the up and downs were there. So with the chemotherapy, tuberculosis, where percentage of patients were becoming low. And all of a sudden, since last 10 years or 15 years, I can say, when the HIV was in boom, when HIV patients increases, again resurge, write downward, RESURGE. पुन्हा लाट आली मराठीमध्ये, एकदा ट्युबरक्युलोसिसची लाट ओसरली होती. Wave of the tuberculosis was low, but tide, it's called in English tide, TIDE. But all of a sudden, when the HIV was in boom, in high percentage, again that tuberculosis comes up. So with the HIV, tuberculosis again coming up in India. And you will find many HIV patients are suffering from tuberculosis. So when you find any person as a tuberculosis patient, don't forget, if it is indicated, don't forget to do the HIV test. It's very important. Okay, it is not given in many books or not any teacher is telling you, will tell you. Okay, pleural effusion symptoms: acute dry pleurisy is like a purva rupa of wet pleurisy, WET, purva rupa of effusion. First, it is dry, unilateral lightning chest pain after deep inspiration. You must remember this symptom. You must remember, because if it is a skill to diagnose the case at an early stage. It is the skill of any doctor if he can diagnose any case in early stage. For example, if everywhere is yellow, eyes are yellow, nails are yellow, okay, urine is yellow, and then you say you are jaundice. A common man also knows that yellow is jaundice. But in the first week, when there is a severe anorexia, loss of desire to eat, loss of desire to smoke, loss of desire to sex. So such a kamanlatiti kamala, such a hatred, hate, H-A-T-E, dislike of these things, and you say you may have the infective hepatitis, so we will watch, maybe after 2 days you will get yellow urine, tell me. So then you are correct, then you are a very smart doctor. Similarly, if you can catch these symptoms, any patient will come to the chest pain. I think we have discussed a lot about chest pain, and I have given you the thumb rule. Each and every chest pain should be considered as a cardiac unless and otherwise it is proved. Of course, chest pain should be considered from the cardiac origin to number one. But secondly, if it is a typical feature, is not retrosternal, unilateral, on one side of the chest, right or left, and especially chest pain after inspiration. पेशंट मराठीमध्ये सांगतो, डॉक्टर श्वास घेतला की मला चमक मारते. I am in Maharashtra, I am talking few sentences in Marathi language. माझ्या इथे डॉक्टर उजव्या बाजूला श्वास घेतला की चमक मार, म्हणणं घेऊन दाखव बाबा, बाबा श्वास घ्या, दुखतं डॉक्टर. So unilateral lightning chest pain after deep inspiration is a व्याधी प्रत्यात्मक लक्षण. व्याधी प्रत्यात्मक लक्षण of dry pleurisy. Mixing of Ayurvedic terminology in understanding the modern. Very interesting. Vyadhi pratyat, typical feature of dry pleurisy. Then, after which pain becomes less after a few days when the fluid starts accumulating. But then, another change is there. Affected side becomes heavier because of the fluid correction. Suppose, for example, I am getting right-sided my chest pain. This is my right side, okay? And that lightning pain reduces, but then after 1 week I say, doctor, दुखायचं कमी झालं, pain has been reduced, पण असं जड वाटतं मला, तिकडे श्वास घ्यायला त्रास होतो मला. I feel difficult for breathing and I have heaviness. आणि अतिशय महत्वाचं, very important, another feature, patient cannot lie on the opposite side. If I have the pleurisy on the right side, I cannot lie down on the left side. I cannot lie down on my left side because whole fluid sprayed all over the chest. If I have the right pleurisy, I can lie down on the right side. That is comfortable. I can lie down on the right side because of the gravity, fluid accumulates at the base. But if I lie down on the opposite side, my fluid sprays on the chest and I make a straight to myself, supine position. Is it clear? These features are very important. Then breathlessness, surface area becomes reduced. Mild continuous fever. Always remember, TB fever is not high like pneumonia. TB fever is not like a pneumonia. Remember, it's a slow, steady, only 99, 98.5, 100, 100.5. No, never 103, 1. Very rarely. Okay. Then there will be anorexia, weakness, and fatigue. Pleural effusion signs. Many times the starting is insidious, slowly. Insidious means slowly. Patient, and as it is a very slow, patient may not able to give the proper history. काय तुम्हाला मार लागला होता का? Do you fall down? Have you any trauma? काय खोकला बिकला होता का? Is there any cough? Had you any suffer from the fever? Why not, doctor? Nothing is there. So patient may not be able to find out that particular typical feature of lightning pain. Remember, signs, general condition, patient looks ill. Ill means not like toxic like pneumonia, no. But he will look like a tired, loss of energy, and he is looking like an ill person. He is not very energetic person. Okay, but fever is not high. Pulse Little bit tachycardia, samatha is there. Toxins mean according to Ayurveda, samatha is there. Bacterial toxin is sam or am. Bacterial toxin from modern medicine is am condition in Ayurveda. Okay, so respiratory rate is also increased. Central cyanosis, remember, in many respiratory conditions, there is always a cyanosis. Cyanosis is a blue color, blue. Why? Because of the less oxygenation. Whenever oxygen is less, your body parts, they show the bluish tinge. For example, if blue color is there on the lips and front part of the tip, write down, that is central cyanosis. CEN, central cyanosis on the lips and on the tongue, cyanosis. Many respiratory conditions, they will show the cyanosis. Then here, if I get a blue color on the nails or on the first pulp, first phalanx, then that is called as a peripheral cyanosis. So there are mainly two types of cyanosis because of the less oxygen supply to the body cells: central cyanosis and peripheral cyanosis. So cyanosis is an important sign. Write down. Cyanosis is important sign in cardiovascular problems, heart problems, and second lung problems or respiratory problems. So cyanosis is common in these two system problems. Prana versus rotasa, rasa rakta versus rotasa, common problem. Vaivarnya, Ayurveda. Patient lies with affected side downward. This is also important, as I have mentioned. If I have the right pleurisy, I will be comfortable on the right side. Okay. If trachea is markedly shifted to opposite side, that sided sternomastoid will become prominent. You will see that my right lung is with fluid. Lot of pleurisy is there. So that pressure of that fluid will shift my trachea on the left side. Right side pleurisy, that will shift my trachea to the opposite side. And because of that, here my sternomastoid muscle will be prominent. Sternomastoid muscle will be prominent, and that is called as a sternomastoid sign. Can you see cursor? This is I am talking about. In examination, you can get an impression by using these names of the signs. Write down sternomastoid sign. Because of the huge massive pleurisy, trachea is pushed and sternomastoid is become prominent. That muscle becomes prominent. Now chest signs. Chest signs are very important. Symptoms means what the patient is telling you. Sign means what the doctor is examining. So doctor's findings, signs. Patient's complaints, symptoms. Rugna Samvedya Lakshana, symptoms. Vaidya Samvedya Lakshana, signs. Okay. So pleural rub is very important in dry pleurisy. Pleural rub, very, very important. Sign, very important. As I said you, lightning pain while breathing in. Similarly, immediately you put your stethoscope on that particular part and you will see a pleural rub. This pleural rub is a sound created by rubbing polished paper. When you paint your walls, you are painting your walls, before that painter scratches all the walls, scratching by that polished paper. You can go to the shop and bring that polished paper, 2 pieces, and make the rubbing of that sound. It's called as a simulation. Nowadays, that NAC is making you the skill lab. Skill lab means you have to demonstrate on something. So how you will demonstrate? Pleural rub, 2 polished paper and rub each other. That particular cracking sound is called as a pleural rub, which is also pathognomonic or very important sign for the dry pleurisy. Okay. Inspection, fullness of the chest, because bulging will be there little bit. It's not very specific. Restricted movements, yes, that can observe on that particular side because chest cannot expand because there is a pain. Diaphragmatic movement on the affected side cannot be seen, like abdominal and chest respiration. That diaphragmatic movement on the affected side cannot be seen is called as a Hoover's diaphragmatic sign. It's a theoretical. It's not much important in practice. But in the written examination, write down Hoover's diaphragmatic sign in pleurisy. Hoover's, H-O-O-V-E-R-S. Next slide. Palpation, vocal fremitus diminished. How it has done? You have to put your palm on that particular area because it is a palpation, not stethoscope. Then you have to ask the patient, say 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and then you change your places of the hand palm from up to down. That lower lobe, you will find that vibrations are becoming less. My dear friends, how to do the respiratory examination, my video is there on the YouTube. Please visit and see that video very, very carefully. There are videos how to examine cardiovascular system, how to examine pulse, how to examine respiratory system, how to do the artificial respiration, how to do the nervous system examination. Please, please, please see these videos, download those videos, preserve it on your mobile. Okay. Vocal fremitus. These are very important while filling the case papers. But in upper part, vocal fremitus is increased. That part, right part, the fluid is there. But above that fluid, our lung is trying to make more action on the above part. So more air ventilation or the perfusion takes place, or the diffusion takes place rather, O2 CO2 exchange, and whole part is become emphysematous. Their alveoli try to make a more exchange, and above part is emphysematous. That is called as a compensatory emphysema. Because our body tries to maintain oxygen and CO2 balance. That's why that part is damaged. So above part is taken up this particular responsibility, and that's why their vocal fremitus will increased. Try to understand, because of the fluid, affected part, low vocal fremitus. Up part, now lower part, I'm saying. Can you see here? This lower part is a pleurisy. This is vocal fremitus low, but here vocal fremitus is more. Okay. Trachea and apex bit shifted to other side. Percussion, inspection, palpation, percussion, auscultation. Every time for the long answer case taking or long case taking, short case taking, in your CP, in your examination, practical examination, you write down darshana, sparshana, prashna. Into bracket, inspection, sparshana, palpation, percussion, auscultation, and prashna is case taking. Stony dullness, you know how to do the percussion. Here, again, you see my video and then you will understand. Okay. Percussion, there will be stony dullness. Very hard because fluid is inside, no air. When air is there, resonant. Air is inside, resonant, normal sound. But this is stony dullness. But in the upper part, again, hyper-resonant note because of the compensatory emphysema, that is Kodiak resonance. Kodiak resonance. Try to remember these words for your examination impression. Kodiak resonance. Okay. Auscultation. Breath sounds absent or markedly diminished naturally. That fluid is there. Okay. Vocal resonance. Remember vocal fremitus by palpation. Vocal resonance by stethoscope. Vocal fremitus by palpation only. Vocal resonance, stethoscope, auscultation. So vocal resonance, like same. You put the stethoscope, ask the patient, say 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, here, here, up. Put the stethoscope. That is vocal resonance. Is absent or diminished. But above the effusion, vocal resonance will be increased or is found increased. Investigations, most important is the ESR. ESR will be high. Normally 0 to 10 or 0 to 20 mm at the end of 1 hour. But in the male, it will go up to 100, 120, 80, 90 mm at the end of 1 hour. ESR is not diagnostic, but it is a prognostic test. Write down, ESR is not diagnostic, it's a prognostic. Whenever you start AKT, anti-tuberculosis treatment, gradually after 1 month, 2 months, ESR will be slowly reduced and it will be normal. So that is why it is called prognosis means sadhya sadhyatva in Ayurveda. Whether my disease is becoming sadhya or whether my disease is becoming asadhya or krichra sadhya. There are different reasons. ESR is high in maybe tuberculosis, maximum 95%, or maybe in malignancy, and also HIV, ESR will be raised. Aspirated pleural fluid show all characteristics of exudates. For example, it will be straw yellow color, high protein, etc. This is called as, write down, pleural tapping. Pleural, please write down pleural tapping. So pleural tapping is always done in the pleural effusion. That is done for two purposes. Number one, write down. Number one, diagnostic. Number one, diagnostic. And number two, as a part of treatment. Number two, as a part of treatment. So one is a diagnostic purpose and another is a treatment purpose. How the treatment is not directly treatment, it's an indirect treatment to prevent the breathlessness. Because when there is a massive fluid accumulation is there, your whole lung is damaged, patient becomes breathless. To reduce that breathlessness, that fluid is taken out. That is called the pleural tapping, which is helping to relieve the breathlessness of pleural effusion. So it is not direct treatment, it is an indirect treatment, symptomatic treatment. LDH level of the pleural fluid is increased in malignancy. This is rare, so I will not focus much on this, but for the theoretical purpose, you write down this finding. LDH level of the pleural fluid, if it is increased more than 200 international units per liter, in the case the diagnosis will be malignancy, which is very rare. Okay, next slide. X-ray chest, very much important. Dense homogeneous opacity, because when air is there, opacity will not be there. Okay, obliteration, this is the most important, never forget this sentence. Obliteration of costophrenic and cardiophrenic angle on the affected side. Obliterations means destruction. Obliteration, destruction of costophrenic. Phrenic means diaphragm. In between costal cartilages and diaphragm there is one angle which we can see in the X-ray. We are going to see some X-rays. And cardiophrenic, there is also angle in between heart shadow and the diaphragm shadow. Trachea and heart are shifted to other side. X-ray can detect the fluid with minimum 175 to 200 cc of fluid present. This particular range you should remember. X-ray can diagnose when the fluid is 175 to 200 cc. But CT scan, computerized tomography, if you do the CT scan, can diagnose even 10 cc of fluid. Very surprising how accurate this is. Advanced technology. Pleural biopsy may be done when exact cause cannot be found by previous investigations. Then the last stage is a pleural biopsy. Pleural effusion, prognosis. In tuberculosis, it's quite okay, because if the patient is taking in a very good normal compliance, normal anti-pox treatment, AKT, in full course, either 8 months or 1 year, he will be completely cured. But some patients, they remain thickened pleura. That pleural sac becomes thickened, and sometimes the patient may feel difficulty on lying down on the opposite side. Heaviness in the chest, very rarely, but yes, this can happen. Absolutely normal X-ray will be there, but then because of the previous pleurisy, his pleura becomes thickened, thick. Okay, in some cases, fluid may be encysted. This is also very rare, so we will not discuss much about it. What is the treatment? I am talking only about pleurisy because of TB. No else, no malignancy, no HIV, no viral. I will not discuss. That is very rare. AKT medicines, anti-cox treatment, and other advice also of the TB. Remember, bed rest is there. Pain is much more. So you can use the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. What is the full form? Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, maybe Combiflam, Voveron, paracetamol, whatever, IBJ6. Okay, but Remember here again, sometimes chest physician can use steroids to get the resolution of the fluid very fast, but that should not be used by the general practitioner. Steroids, prednisolone or the visolone can be used, may be used by the chest physician. Pleural tapping, as I already told you, whenever there is a massive effusion. Massive. Why? Because that can cause the breathlessness. Okay. So these are some of the pictures. You can see obliteration of costophrenic angle. Obliteration means write down destruction. Now this is the angle. Can you see here? This particular point. Don't forget it. You have to draw this figure in your exam, in written exam. You must draw this figure. Simple black shadow is there because this is normal. Normal lung is there. Normal costophrenic. But here you can see little fluid accumulated. So white opaque is there. And you cannot see this angle over here. Can you see? No. This angle is not seen over here. So this is that particular condition. Massive pleural effusion. Can you see? Massive. Very big. Whole of this middle and lower lobe of the right lung has been damaged. Fluid accumulated, white opaque shadow is there. No costophrenic angle we can see. Here it is the costophrenic angle. Huh? These are some of the features. Now the pictures that I am showing you may not be directly related with the pleural effusion. As we have the 1 minute, I will just go further with some pictures, interesting pictures. Try to understand. These may not be directly related with TB or pleural effusion. This may be in the emphysema. This may be in the heart problem. This may be in the bronchiectasis. Any chronic lung or the heart infection or diseases can cause this symptom: cyanosis, bluish discoloration, peripheral cyanosis. Okay. Then here you can see the central cyanosis. Lips and the tongue has been damaged. We may have the congenital heart disease. You can diagnose this. Then clubbing. This is more common in the emphysema and bronchiectasis. Clubbing. This is the clubbing of the fingers. Can you see what clubbing? Next, this is also the type of clubbing, but very serious type of the clubbing. So you must draw these figures in your examination. My dear friends, I hope that this is the right time to conclude our session over here. We will continue again with the next session, respiratory problems, or maybe another interesting topics. So thank you very much for your patience hearing, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. I am concluding this